This is Ted with Foxhole Homes, and I'm excited to share with you the culmination of our first demonstration build at Fiddler's Green Home. We've called this building the Desert Fox. We've based it off of the basic principles of Earthship biotexture, which are, of course, built out of recycled and repurposed materials, number one. Number two and number three have to do with the sun. First, that we're heating and cooling the building with the sun, and second, that we're generating our power with the sun. And then the last three have to do with water. First, we're catching water off the roof. Second, we're recycling and repurposing the water in the house so that it's treating wastewater in the process. And last but not least, we're growing food. I want to highlight a few of the things that we've done in this build that are different than any other build that we know of. Starting off with how we built the roof. Two major things in there. First is we used cardboard as our primary insulation. We wrapped that in a flame retardant foil barrier to mitigate fire risk, but that has given us what we're estimating at about an R30 value in the roof for less than $100 for the entire building. The second thing that we've done is part of the ventilation, actually the cooling system, is Earthship has used the greenhouse in their buildings to create heat or convection that would draw air through a cooling tube in the berm to cool the home in the summertime. We've designed that to be part of the eave of the building, and then designed a special wing vent that takes advantage of the prevailing south wind to add pull to that heat convection system to allow us to cool the building year round, even without having a sealed greenhouse to create that heat for convection. Some other things that we've done is we've added a composting toilet system, which Earthship has done in the past, but we've created its own ventilation system as well to prevent off-gassing. We've also, on the ventilation side, created what we call kind of a root cellar cabinet that has its own cooling tube. And we've connected that to the refrigerator above so that the coils on the refrigerator create heat, which will create convection and pull air through the cooling tube in the berm to provide cool storage in the cabinet underneath that's appropriate for keeping vegetables cool for the long term. And last but not least, we've designed a whole new greenhouse system based on utilizing standard greenhouse hoops that allows us to have a convertible greenhouse space that will have shade cloth over it in the summertime and plastic in the winter. This is creating a tiny house space where the finished space is less than 120 square feet, which in most places don't need permits, but then having a very, very functional greenhouse space that's adaptable between summer and winter to create additional usable space year round. These changes have kind of come together in a building that works really, really great and is also affordable. The entire cash outlay for materials on this build was less than $6,000. That includes the entire structure of the building, cisterns to store water, all of our solar panels, all of the functionality in the house for just a tiny, tiny dollar value. And yet it's designed so that it could take care of the needs of a single person who would otherwise be homeless.